It's time for some great short track racing at Sunset Speedway in Innisfil, Ontario. Get ready for some heart-pounding action with their highly competitive hot rod division, featuring also bone stocks, modifieds, junior late models, super stocks, my personal favorite, the mini stocks, and pro late models. Don't miss out on their yearly classics, including the Hanley Classic, the Steve Slaughter Classic, Allen Lincoln Cup, and many more exciting events. We want to see more of those cool power drag races. Visit sunsetspeedway.ca for ticket information and head to the track for an unforgettable racing experience.
This episode of the Stickers and Scuffs podcast has been brought to you by Remax Jack. Jack provides a friendly, customer-driven service in search for homes and provides excellent details on the market, values, and trends in buying and selling. Jack has been able to work with Cam on his search and always makes himself available when he has a question. Remax Jack will help you if you're looking to buy or sell a home within the GTA. He's who Cam K trusts to find his next home, and he should be yours too. Remember, call Remax Jack and start to pack. For more information, go to remaxjack.ca.
Stickers and Scuffs, we ride. Interviewing drivers side by side, from the pits to winning strides. Stickers and Scuffs, our racing guide. Hear the roar and feel the speed. Every driver chasing dreams, from the green flag to the win. Side by side, from the pits to winning strides. Stickers and Scuffs, our racing guide. Engines roaring, crowds alive, Ontario pride by the mile. Lap by lap on the move, catch the thrill in every groove.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. 202 now, Grade and Bun. We're moving up and onwards to our goal to 300 episodes. Had a great episode with Steve Oakes from Sunset Speedway. And you know what? We figured we might as well continue down the Sunset Speedway road with mini stock racer extraordinaire and one of our favorites. He actually, we could talk to him actually about Sauble Speedway as well, because he's come from racing there. It's a Ryder White, driver of the 88 mini stock. Ryder, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Awesome.
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Racing's a month or less than a month away now. Are you ready?
I'm ready. The car's almost ready.
Yeah.
So
well,
we're going to get decals put. It's actually at Image Wraps right now, getting decals put on it.
Very nice. Re-clipped as Camaro this year too.
Yeah.
Why'd we do that?
I've always just wanted to have a Camaro bumper, and the old Camry was pretty beat up after 2 seasons, so decided it was time for a change.
Nice. Who'd you run into the most last year with the front of that bumper?
Lot of traffic.
Yeah, a lot of cars.
A lot of cars, eh? No,
Yeah.
I mean it looked like, it was was it year 2, 3 with that car?
It's year 3 now.
Year 3 now. Did you have any thought about potentially changing the car for this year, or you want to kind of tough it out with this one?
Just keep this one, tough it out. I've always liked the Civics and haven't really thought about changing. So,
well, there you go. We'll take it. I mean, it certainly looked comfortable last year. I mean, a lot more comfortable than the previous year. We've talked with racers from the most experienced to inexperienced. Guys like Chad McGlynn have said that they for whatever reason cannot get a handle on Sunset Speedway. So you ran at Sauble and you also ran at Sunset. So now doing kind of permanent racing at Sunset, what has been the biggest adjustment that you've had to make?
Honestly, It's just the banking of the turns, and it's a lot faster than Sauble.
Mhm.
Just carry more speed through the corners. Hasn't, like, honestly, from switching from track to track, it's hasn't been that tough. But the only track that it's hard for me, Peterborough and Flamborough, I can't get those ones figured out.
Yeah, Peterborough last year. I mean, I felt like you won it. Was it the last chance that you were on your way to taking the win? And I don't really know what happened. If a gust of wind blew you sideways or what?
Something like that. Something happened. Just got loose out of turn 4, and the car went into the infield. I was not my proudest moment, but
How mad were you after that?
it's not matter. I was laughing at myself. I was embarrassed. I gotta.
There you go, Grade. When you go race Peterborough, when you go eventually and run it in ACC, don't do that because
Don't
I
do
mean,
that. No.
yeah, you had that too. Like you were driving away from the field, you looked comfortable
Yeah.
for a little bit at least, and then
Yeah.
went sideways. So, but you did still make the feature?
Yeah, I made the
right?
feature.
Yeah, what happened in the feature?
So I started at the back with a couple other fast cars. So my plan was stay behind those. We'll just like tail up to the front of the field. But a car ended up spinning out on turn 4. I'm right behind forget his name, but he's the purple 88 from
Chris Tubman.
Yeah, Chris Tubman. I'm right behind him. He turns out of the way, swerves out of the way, and next thing you know, there's a car right in front of me. And I tried to turn, but I hit the brake too hard, so the car didn't turn. It just went straight into the car.
Oh man, because we didn't. I didn't even see what happened to you, but I saw you pull off, and I was like, well, "What happened?" Right? Because it was like that was a crazy period throughout that race where I think you, Curtis, and Peter Wakeling all pulled off at like the same time, and we had no idea what was going on. Right? There's so much that was happening, but not your first. That wasn't your first ACC experience in minis, right?
Yeah, last 2 seasons ago, so my first ACC, I didn't start it because of the rain, and we made the decision to just keep the car in the trailer. And eventually the racing never happened. It got delayed till next weekend. So
yeah, that's right. And then you guys weren't back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So needless to say, fun experience, ACC.
I love ACC. I love the long weekend. It's just I gotta figure out that track. That's it.
That's the only thing, is just the actual racetrack, So yeah, you're a veteran of touring to different racetracks now and stuff. Tell us the Ryder White story, bud. How'd you get into it from day one to now?
So when I was younger, I have a trailer up in Sauble Beach where I live in the summer. I work there now, and my dad would always take us to Sunset Speedway because his dad, my papa, would take them to Flamborough and Sauble when they were kids. So he'd take us there. I saw the junior late models when I was about 3 years old. Yeah. And I was like, Dad, can I please race? I really, really want to. And I just asked him for years and years. And then he's like, finally, one year he caved in and he's like, all right, there's 2 cars in London and pick the color, because we had no idea what we were like getting into. I chose between blue and red. I chose the blue car, and it turns out that car was a fast car, and like it was a really good choice.
Yeah.
Whose car was it before you?
Oh, he raced in Delaware when they would do like the half track at Delaware.
Yeah, okay, that might be way before we were involved in this. Still racing though, the driver that you got it from? Do you know?
I don't think so. No.
No. So you got this junior late model. You've been watching these kids go out and do it. Now comes the time that you're going to actually step behind the wheel. What was the first feeling for you?
I was excited, but I was nervous because I started scratch because I didn't want to like get in anybody's way. As soon as I started going, it was like so fun, everyone to get out of the car. Actually, my first practice in that car, we went the body off because it's a little harder to see with the body on. and I'm telling my dad I'm just gonna go out there and pin it like a whole track. End up spinning the car out first turn, and then scared myself and started going slow, and eventually got quicker.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, right? Like we've seen it, and actually, that's a good thing that you shared that, Ryder, because we have SNS racers that are very young, getting into the junior lates, and I've actually heard that they get a spin or something happens and it scares them. How did you overcome that?
Well, I've always had the mindset of winning, and I just want to be the best out there. So when I spun out and stuff, it's just get back on the gas and like go do it again. You gotta keep that memory in like the back of your head and not think about it. So
There you
that's how
go.
I've always dealt with it that way.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'd be a little terrified if I had a bunch of cars coming at me and I was spun out. But like you said, you got out there and you got into victory lane. Now I would be remiss if I did not talk about a fellow young racer that is a buddy of yours that Ollie Ferguson.
Yeah.
That he had some adventures in these junior late models. He had a couple of flips. You didn't do anything that intense though, I don't believe.
I've done some intense stuff. Lots of intense stuff, but I've not flipped a car. I've I've
There
actually
you go.
driven under his car flipping at Sauble Speedway.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's insane. And you were in victory lane for when he got his big OSS win last year. That was actually cool that you guys were one of the first people. You and Violet, I think, were both there
Yeah.
to celebrate with him. And for yourself, I mean, you guys raced junior lates together. How cool was that experience?
Pretty cool. It was just like I got to see him win in like a big 8-cylinder big race car. That's like been my dream to race a car like that, and I know that's like one of his biggest dreams to race one of those cars. It's pretty cool to see him like win one of those races, especially
Yeah.
on the like couple laps to go. That's like good pass on Corey, and me and my dad and my sister in the stands were like, "Oh my god, he's gonna win! He's gonna win!"
Yeah, we had that same feeling actually. We were losing our minds a little bit when we was seeing that because I was following it working for OSS at the time. And you were you there? I can't remember if Graydon you were there that week, and you weren't. I don't think, right?
No, I don't think I was.
No, you weren't. You weren't behind the wheel. That was the following time they went to Sauble. But it, it that's something that I love that you talked about already. Is that um, you guys you grew up at Sauble, work in the area, you have a spot that you live there. My co-host is getting the opportunity, thanks to CGC Racing, to race there, and he has said it time and time again how much he loves the track. Obviously, you're racing Sunset, but you did get the opportunity to race Sauble a lot. What was the best thing about Sauble?
Honestly, Sauble, the atmosphere of the track, like you're right by the
Yeah.
beach, sunset, and it's just when you're going on that track, it's so fun. It's
Yeah.
like one of my favorite tracks to be like nose to tail with other cars or like going in and out of traffic
Mhm.
because it's just such a fun track to race at.
Yeah.
It's funny because Graydon, I know, has talked about it before, is that it's a multi-groove. You can go on the high side and you can run beside somebody, be competitive. Now, for yourself, compared to, like you said, Sunset, the drivability, I would assume, is completely different in terms of how you act. Like this is a Graydon question, but I've been listening to him about how you attack the corners, right? You would say that, right? So what's the secret, if there is one?
I've always dive bombed in the corners, so I've always sent the car in. Like that's always been my thing, just send the car in. But I've learned that at Sauble, you gotta brake a little earlier, like get off the gas a little earlier, so then you're on it
Mhm.
sooner in the corner, so then you have a faster exit off.
Mm-hmm.
Like at
Yeah,
Sunset,
you don't have banking at Sauble like you do at Sunset too, where
So you
you
don't have
have
the
like that
momentum
kind of
then.
holding you with
yeah.
your speed and that kind of thing too. Like it's a whole different animal, and so moving into 2025 and calling Sunset your home track, what's the goals, bud?
I really want to get my first like actual feature win. That's
Yeah.
one of the big goals. And then honestly, just running consistently all throughout the season, and just like learning even more about like the etiquette and like my patience as a driver. Just
Yeah.
learn that more. That's a lot of my goals.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because I think it's not bone stocks, it's not junior late models. I feel like the field, especially at Sunset in the mini stocks, is stacked. It
Yeah,
is really tough week in and week out. You have at least 6 to 10 that could theoretically win. You have, Jake Sutcliffe, Wyatt Sutcliffe. You have Cast Iron. Andrea's out there, and she's probably going to be better this year. And then, of course,
Madison's
our
kicking it
man
too.
Madison. We've got
Yeah.
Dougie B is going to be
yeah,
back. You and Doug Butler had a moment last year. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that moment, but I remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
moment
I
because that
remember
moment
it.
was the Graydon was in that race.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Talk about that moment with Doug Butler.
Well, I was in the lead, and I was just like, I'm winning a race. Like I'm looking at my meters. I know that Jacob and Doug are right behind me, and I get it that he had to go into me because that's one of his cars. Like, what you either go into your car or you go into the other car. So I get why he went, like why I got spun out, but like it's all good. Like it's all a part of the racing.
I heard that that's exactly what happened at the end of the race. You were, um, the reporter beside me, said like, hey, you and Doug were talking it out afterwards, laughing and just like, this is what happens.
Yeah,
If it wasn't Doug Butler, would there have been a different scenario? No,
I don't think so. No,
no, eh?
like I can get mad out on the track, but like if it's just a move like that, it's whatever. Honestly, you can bounce back. Like, and it's a lot of fun driving through up the field. It's pretty
Yeah,
fun. So
it looks so fun. Because you guys can literally go 3 wide.
yeah,
I mean, 4 wide at times. Doesn't normally work that way, but I mean, I know that it looked like a lot of fun because you were out there and you had led a large majority of that race until that happened, really.
Yeah. And for a guy that's not a real ripe old age yet, I mean, you've got a bit of experience in running a few different racetracks, so you do have um, that mindset in terms of, and as you already said, kind of at the top of the show, where you don't want to be that guy and getting in people's way. That's where you've been able to build your racecraft and learn how to follow, but also learn how to lead. So I mean, it makes you a pretty well-rounded driver for your age. So I think that bodes well for you at Sunset because it is a real fast track, and it is like it's got a couple of grooves and it's got some room for you to race and see how you stack up with all those big dogs there. Which you're not a stranger to Sunset either, right? You've raced there a bit of like a few times. So what's your Sunset experience going into this year?
just doing like the same thing. Like Sunset experience. I feel like I can drive the track pretty
Mm-hmm.
well now. Like going into 3 and 4, I don't even
Yep.
touch the brakes. I'm literally off the gas, diving the thing into the corner, and then right back on it. It's
Mm-hmm.
honestly one of my favorite like places to run. So driving the track, I feel like that is good. It's just making my moves and stuff. Some of that
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was a time last year where started the race, there's like a slower car on the inside and a slower car on the outside on the front row. So I split it 3 wide up the middle and ended up getting like spun out and had the car hop off in the air. But that's like something that I've like
Live
need
and
to
learn,
work on.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you scared the crap out of me last year actually because I'm not going to remember who it was that got you, but it was a spin off of turn 2 and I when I saw how fast Violet booked it to where your car ended up, I was like, well, at least we know that if the safety crew didn't get there, we knew Violet would be jumping over she was
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
She was there, I think, before your car had even stopped, and you looked like you were heading right into the inside wall. Luckily, no issues there. But how cool is it that you've got a big sister that's going to the racetrack and supporting you when she could literally be doing anything else?
She really likes like the racing and like working on the car. Her and my dad and like sometimes me. I really got to start doing it more now because my sister, she's going off to school next year, so it'll be just me and my dad like in the off season, but in the summer she'll be back. But she loves like the mechanic part of it and just like fixing and working on the car.
Love hearing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love hearing that. You know, one of the things we haven't done in a while, and Amanda Balson talked to me this week and talked about doing something a little bit more interesting, and that's rapid fire. And rapid fire questions that might not have anything to do with racing, but it just gets people to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
Like this.
What we're going to start with is, and this one, I like this question. So, first off, you don't really think about it. You just say whatever comes to mind first. Okay. Night or day race?
Day.
Really? Wow. I'm actually shocked to hear that. Okay. Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Hot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Coke or Pepsi?
A Coke.
Oh no, Graydon. Oh. Um, would you rather a start from the back or stay at or start at pole?
Start at the back.
Interesting.
Put on a show.
Oh, that is fun. Hot rods or modifieds?
Modified.
Interesting. Oh man, this is getting good already.
Spicy.
Yeah, I know exactly. Favorite racer that you get to be on the track with in the mini stocks?
Probably Doug or Michael Robinson.
Michael Robinson. Your favorite driver that you've driven with in the past?
Brandon McGee.
Oh, that's a good one too, actually. Your favorite race car driver?
Oh, like anything NASCAR.
Anything.
Dale Jr.
There you go,
man.
Graydon.
That's where the
Favorite
88 comes from.
Oh, that's where the 88 comes from.
Yeah.
Favorite Ontario racer?
Stackley.
Yeah. Which one?
Kyle.
Kyle, there we go. Favorite movie?
Talladega Nights.
That's a pretty good choice. And we'll wrap it up with let's say music that you your playlist right now. What's on the Ryder White playlist?
Mr. Brightside, like some of those type of songs. Like yeah.
I know what you're actually talking about, which is a good thing. Oh man. Ryder, obviously everybody has the goal to go out and win.
Mhm.
Right? That's the goal. You said that right off the top.
Yeah.
What finishing points are you not going to be happy with?
Probably like 4th or 5th. Depends on how the season goes, though.
You wouldn't be happy with that, or you would be happy with that?
If I race all season,
Yes.
I probably wouldn't. But if I got wrecked or something, then that's like
You'll be
something.
okay with settling
Yeah.
for 4th or 5th?
Yeah.
Is there somebody that you see that is a racer in Ontario? Could be one of your buddies that you think is extremely underrated. Someone who has every chance of being very successful. You can't say yourself because we already know it's about you. So
I gotta say Michael Robinson, like Junior, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Team hatchback, eh?
hatchback,
Yeah.
Team Napa, right? I mean, I expect that. You know, we did say on SNS Live that when we did talk about you coming on the show, you and Michael Robinson were two of the names that we talked about in that mini stock division that seemed to be the next potentials to go out and win. And Graydon, you got to be out on the track with Ryder White. How was that?
Just try to stay out of the way, man. Like I said, that whole race, the whole practice session, like the day before, or a couple days before, or whatever it was, that it was wet, so I couldn't really go at the track as hard as I wanted to. I feel like I didn't really get the hang of it until like 12 to go in the race, and then I just wanted more of it. So it was super, super fun. Being a part of like the talent level, like I said, like with yourself and all the others that are on the track at Sunset, it is, as Brendan Doherty like says in the I still have that video where it's just like it's the deep end of the pool for talent in mini stocks. So I mean, you're part of that, man, and that's cool. It's such a neat profile of drivers from young guns to the really crafted and seasoned veterans like Doug and Randy too. And it's just,
Yep.
what does that mean to you to be a part of that, Ryder? And what do you say to people that want to be the next Ryder White?
Just being a part of the mini stocks means a whole lot because the competition, like you said, there's young guns to the guys that have been doing it for years. That is pretty cool. And then
Good place to go to school, eh?
yeah, it is. You learn a lot. You do learn a lot.
I can say that.
And then for people like trying to be the next, like me or like someone else in the mini stock division, it's like you learn from like a bunch of others and just in racing. Like I've had things done to me in like the junior late model, but I've also done that to other people. Like on like in Grand Bend on the last lap, a lap car like came up the track and I could never get around her. Like I couldn't go high, I couldn't go low. And then I just got passed on the last lap, and it was like I would just be so mad getting out of the car.
It's like we said through the show, like live and learn, right? You just all those experiences they go into the memory bank as a driver, and they go into your racecraft to help make you better every step of the way, right?
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Where would you like to go after mini stocks? And you even talked about like liking the modifieds over the hot rods, but is there a place that you see yourself if, say, mini stocks is something that you want to move on from?
Honestly, like if I could get any car I wanted, like doesn't matter the cost, it'd be like I'd love the Pro Lights, like APC series. That's my favorite and like Dream Series racing. But realistically, we were looking at like Can-Am midgets because they race locally in Sauble Beach, but they're also just so fast and like they're so small.
Yes.
It's like that's pretty crazy if there's like there.
Cool. Well, we always like to end the show with you thanking people. And you're going to thank all of the partners that you have on your race car and the people that help get you to the racetrack each and every week. So this is your moment, Ryder, and then throw out your social media as well so people can follow you.
So I'd like to thank like my dad, my sister, like all my family that helps get the car ready. And then my sponsors, I'd want to thank like SMC Contracting, Keller Williams Reality Centers, Orangeville Lions Club, Toronto Auto Glass, Speedy Auto Glass, Canadian Tire Orangeville, Georgetown Buick and GMC, Jack and Jill's Surf Shop, Beach Burger, Potterama, Epic Racewear, Erskine's Automotive, and Mason's Exterior Services.
He's getting pretty good at that, isn't he, Graydon?
Yeah, man. And I love just the through the partners, there's like a little bit of a beach vibe there, and I can kind of get that vibe from you guys, and I really dig that. So that's a cool thing. And even the car, I mean, the orange and the blue, it's just got a real good vibe about it. So, man, I hope you do well this season, and we'll see you a couple times for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure.
The social media, how can people follow along with you, buddy?
On Instagram, it's Ryder Racing 88, and then on Facebook, it's Ryder Racing.
Now, I know this probably stings a little bit for Grade 1 because he has to look at that surfboard that you've got in the background. Just off. Yeah, he doesn't have. He's waiting for his surfboard, the coolest trophy. Ryder White, buddy. Best of luck. You know you'll see us at the racetrack here. And thank you again. He's been a S&S racer. He's going into his third season with us already as an S&S racer. It seems like just yesterday you were up at Sauble repping us, but now we get to see you a little more often. So thank you so much, my friend, and we'll catch you at the racetrack.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ryder. We appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, I'll see you guys around for sure.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Subscribe, share, and like for more Ontario motorsports content.